Okay, so today we're going to do loader operations. So we're going to start off with the joystick inside in the cab for the loader, and we're just going to talk about it for a second. So the controls on it are, so this is a 4-way joystick. You have forward, back, and then you have left and right. So when you pull the joystick back, the loader will lift up straight. When you push it forward, the loader will go down. When you pull it towards you, it will tilt the implement on the front of the loader back to you, and when you push it away from you, it will tilt the implement down to the ground. There's a couple of extra buttons on this joystick. So this button here at the corner is the soft ride. So when you have a load on the loader, and we'll say you're driving over rough terrain, it gives the loader a sponge effect, so it won't have as much stress on the tractor. The two outside buttons here then are actually, you can actually change the gears from the joystick as well, in the gearbox. And there's a button around this side where you can actually change the direction from forward to reverse. So it makes it a lot easier for the operator, that they don't have to be moving their hand off of the joystick when they're working the loader. The other thing is there is a lock on it, a safety lock on it, so I can actually move it now. But if I twist this around here, okay, it locks the joystick, so it goes into a safety mode. So if someone gets in and moves the lever, they can't move the lever. Okay. The other thing is that when a tractor is turned off with this type of a joystick, and if for instance the loader is left up, someone wouldn't want to come into the cab. This will drop the loader to the ground if you push the lever forward by accident with the tractor off, so that's something to remember. The loader should always be parked in the proper way, which we'll show you here soon. Okay, so we're going to talk about the loader itself before you start operating it, what checks you would do. So one of the first checks is you check to make sure that both latch pins are in, that these levers are up. There is markings on the inside of the loader to tell you that both pins are locked in, and you can see them from the cab. So you would just check to make sure these levers are up. As you move along the loader, you check to make sure there's none of the rams that are leaking, okay, or none of the hoses leaking oil, okay, and you would check that to make sure that there's no pins that are after moving or anything like that. As we go around, we check the front of it, check the hoses on the front here coming down to the third service, okay, and you keep moving around, you check all the rams, okay, and you check for any cracks, okay, you make sure you walk around and check for any cracks. There shouldn't be any cracks in this loader. It's a brand new loader, but if it's an old loader that might have 10 or 15 years work done, there might be small maintenance issues all the time with it. The other thing you check here is you check to make sure that your multi-dock is locked in properly and that all the hoses are okay. So what the camera is pointing at there now is the locking system there. You can see where the pin is. It's in the lock. The pin is pointing towards that it is locked in properly, the loader.
Okay, so this is the basic operation of the loader. Up, tilt, tilt back, and down.
Okay, so to remove the implement from the front of the loader, all we need to do here on this John Deere 603R loader, you just pull this pin out and drop it, push down on it, and it will stay out. You can see it's out about 4 inches now. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is go up into the cab, drop the implement to the ground, and take it off.
Okay, so we just removed the implement there, and you can see this bar is still out here, the 4 inches. This is an automatic locking system. So when I will drive in now and pick the implement up, this bar will automatically jump across. Okay, so it will automatically lock the implement on itself. You need to come off the tractor and just check to make sure that the implement is locked in from a safety point of view, because there is occasion where it can actually miss where it's locked in. So it's very important you come off and check to make sure that the pins go through the quick hitch on the implement.
Okay, so the easiest way to attach an implement onto this loader is to tilt the headstock fully forward, so it gives good visibility of the hooks on the front of the attachment. Okay. So now the attachment is hooked in. And it has locked. So you would check the attachment is locked and that it's in a secure position.
Okay, so when we have a loader on a tractor, it's very important that we've proper ballast on the back. So ballast is to have a weight on the back of the tractor. It doesn't have to be, this weight is a ton weight of solid steel. It doesn't have to be this. It could be that you've put your own bale of silage on the back of it, just so that the tractor is balanced properly. If you don't have ballast on the back of the tractor when you're working the loader, when you pick up a weight on the front of the loader, it will be inclined to lift the back tires off the ground if you don't have ballast on the back. So it makes the tractor and loader very unstable then, especially if you're travelling over rough terrain. So it's important that you have at least the same weight ballast on the back as what you're going to be lifting with the loader. Okay? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is pick up a bale of straw. Depending where you're working, you need to look around and take a look at the terrain. Okay, the terrain is perfect here. There's a slight slope in it, but we're up in a concrete yard, so there's actually no bumps or hollows or anything. That's one thing with a loader. If the loader is lifted up to the last with a load on it and you're driving over rough terrain, it can cause the tractor and loader to sway from side to side. So you need to be aware of that and go slow. But here we have no issue. Concrete yard. We're going to load a bale of straw into the McHale straw chopper here. The other thing you should be aware of is that any people that are around the vicinity of where you're working, that you're cautious and be aware of them when you're operating the loader and tractor.
So when lifting a load, it's always best to keep the load as low to the ground as possible, as this is the safest way. When operating on rough terrain, it will be better to keep it as low to the ground as possible, as loads high up have a habit of taking the weight of the back of the tractor and causing the back wheels to come off the ground.
Okay, so when you were parking the loader and tractor, when we're finished with it, it's important that whatever implement is on it, that you make it safe. So here we have the two-prong pike drop down. The prongs are touching the ground, they're not a trip hazard, and the loader is all the way down as well, and the tractor, the handbrake is up in the tractor, or that it's in the park position inside the tractor.